Hello students. In today's video lecture, let's see how we can define 2 points in the extended complex plane to be symmetric points with respect to a circle gamma. Suppose you are fixing a circle and the circle is passing through 3 points set 2, set 3 and set 4. Then 2 points Z and Z star in the extended complex plane are called symmetric with respect to the circle gamma if the cross ratio of Z star, Z2, Z3, Z4 is equal to the conjugate of the cross ratio Z, Z2, Z3, Z4. So we have studied about the cross ratio while we were dealing with Mobius transformations in detail. So hopefully we know what is the LHS and RHS is standing for. And also we had seen that cross ratio is nothing but a particular case of Mobius transformation, and each cross ratio will correspond to a unique Mobius transformation. And suppose in our case, say T of Z is the Mobius transformation which is equal to the quadruple set, set 2, set 3, set 4, which is the cross ratio. So definitely the condition for the symmetricity of 2 points with respect to gamma can be rewritten as T of set star, right, in the LHS is equal to, in the RHS we have the conjugate of T of Z. Okay. So that is the definition of symmetricity of 2 points in the extended complex plane with respect to the circle gamma. So now let's just work out two questions from the exercises. And the first question we are going to deal is the question number 8, which is a very simple question. It says that suppose we are given the Mobius transformation T of Z is equal to AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D. We have to show that the image of the extended real line. So we are taking Z only from the real line. So the image will be, the range set will be nothing but the extended real line. Okay. This happens if and only if, we have to prove that this happens if and only if we can choose A, B, C, D to be real numbers. So let's see how we can prove the same. So in the question number 8, we are going to first assume that T of the extended real line is equal to the extended real line. And then we have to say that the coefficients should be from the real plane. Okay, suppose if set naught is coming from R infinity such that T of set naught is equal to 0, that will mean that A set naught plus B divided by C set naught plus D is equal to 0. That will consequently imply set naught is equal to minus B by A, and we know that this set naught is going to be from R infinity, since we have taken that a real number will be mapped to a real number in the real line, extended real line. So definitely this set naught is equal to minus B by A is an element from the extended real line. Okay. And since minus B by A is a real number, we can say that B by A is also a real number, and we are calling it R1. Okay. Similarly, we are taking another point Z infinity from R infinity such that T of Z infinity is equal to infinity, and the same way we are saying A Z infinity plus B divided by C Z infinity plus D is equal to infinity. And we know that if we are taking the reciprocal of this fraction, we get c z infinity plus d divided by a z infinity plus b is equal to 0, right? So from that we are getting z infinity is equal to minus d by c. That is also a real number, since z infinity is taken, so d by c is in turn a real number and we are calling it r2. In the same manner, I am taking another z1 from R infinity such that t of z1 is equal to 1. From that, when we work out, we are going to end up with the substitutions of R2 and R1 also, and going like that, we will end up with getting Z1 plus R1 divided by Z1 plus R2 is equal to C by A. Okay. We have chosen Z1 to be from R infinity. Similarly, R1 and R2 are also from R infinity. That will mean that this C by A is also from R infinity. Okay. So now let's think about T of Z. Okay. T of Z is nothing but AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D, right? So this is equal to Z plus B by A divided by C by A into Z plus D by A. That is nothing but Z plus R1 divided by R3Z plus D by A, right? So this will definitely be from R infinity, as we already said that Z is coming from R infinity. So that makes us give us give us the proof of, actually we can maybe conclude it here itself, because the both ways we get to know that the if and only if condition is satisfied. And for the sake of, usually what we do conversely, if a b c d are coming from R infinity, definitely T of Z is equal to AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D will be from R infinity whenever this set is from R infinity. So here there is a small note, because when we are working out, you get a D by A. This D by A is nothing but D by C into C by A, which is also from R infinity. So that is a simple proof of that question. And look at this note. The symmetric point z and z star with respect to the circle gamma depends on, we know that we feel that it depends on the circle gamma as well as the point z2, z3, z4. But the second point, what we feel, is actually not a dependent criterion. It is independent of the points chosen on gamma. So this can be understood if we solve the question number 11 sitting here, which says that the definition of symmetry of 2 points does not depend on the choice of the points z2, z3, z4, and this shows that W2, W3, we have to show that W2, W3, W4, if they are from gamma, then they also satisfy the same condition of symmetricity of Z and Z star with respect to gamma. And here we have to use exercise 8, and that we just solved now. Okay, so let's see how it can be solved, this problem. Okay. When we are thinking about it, suppose we are taking gamma to be a circle in C infinity, and it is having the points Z2, Z3 and Z4, they are distinct. Okay, similarly W2, W3, W4 are also belonging to gamma, they are also distinct, suppose we are assuming. And let Z and Z star are symmetric points with respect to gamma. Okay, so definitely the condition sitting here should be satisfied, right? And also we said that the same condition can be rewritten in the form of a function kind of manner. So that is nothing but T of Z star is equal to T of Z the whole bar. Okay. So that is nothing but Z star is equal to T inverse of T of Z the whole bar, right? So here, definitely we know that the set 2, set 3, set 4 will map to 0, 1, 0 and infinity. And similarly, suppose if we are taking the cross ratio set W2, W3, W4, it will also be corresponding to a unique Mobius transformation, call it S of Z, which also maps W2, W3, W4 to 1, 0, infinity respectively. Okay, next what we have to prove is this one, that the cross ratio of Z star, W2, W3, W4 is equal to the cross ratio, the conjugate of the cross ratio of Z, W2, W3, W4, right? So that is in the function form, it is nothing but S of Z star is equal to S of Z the whole bar. Okay, that is nothing but Z star is equal to S inverse of S of Z the whole bar. So for that, we are going to prove that T inverse of T of Z the whole bar is equal to S inverse of S of Z the whole bar. So that will definitely imply this equation, right? So we are going to take T inverse of T of Z the whole bar is equal to T inverse of, we are just including an S inverse S, that is nothing but the identity. So I can do that here, right? And from there we are going to have a change. Okay, so we know that S and T are definitely Mobius transformations, so and their inverses are also Mobius transformation, composition of Mobius transformations are also Mobius transformations, right? So here TS inverse is definitely a Mobius transformation, and in the just earlier question we proved that every Mobius transformation maps the extended real line to the extended real line, right? So the map, whenever it is mapped, we know that the the image is a real number, right? So uh, so here you have an observation to make. Here the TS inverse is acting on S of Z, right? So this S of Z is actually in the real line, extended real line, since the cross ratio, whatever complex numbers we use for the cross ratio, they are all lying on the circle gamma. That is S of Z is equal to Z, the quadruple Z, Z2, Z3, Z4 is lying on the circle gamma, right? So we have a theorem which says that whenever the points of the cross ratio are lying on the circle, that happens if and only if the cross ratio is a real number. So here this is a real number. So TS inverse is actually acting on a point on R infinity, right? So TS inverse, the whole conjugate is nothing but identically equal to TS. So instead of the one sitting here, TS inverse conjugate, we can say, we can replace it with TS inverse of S of Z, the whole conjugate. Okay. So here we have T inverse and T, that is nothing but identity map. So we are getting T inverse of T of Z the whole bar is equal to S inverse of S of Z the whole bar, and the claim is proved, which is nothing but Z star is equal to S inverse of S of Z the whole bar. So that is the idea and outline of those problems, and uh, I am just giving an advice like you frame the solution of the problems in your own way such that you can get the logic first and use the outline as we explained through the video lecture to do so. So thank you for being throughout this lecture, and please do move on with the topics as we are moving forward. So thank you again.